restart. I'm gonna start the class. Okay, probably don't hear from me. All right, so we're going to study geometry in this semester, in this summer. Okay, well, I'm going to focus on geometry and probability and counting. Now, you already studied a little bit geometry before, either in school or in my basic math class, and but we need to learn more. Okay, so at least we're going to spend more time on Pythagorean Theory, its applications, and the triangles inside the circles or relationship, and also 3D geometry. Okay, so the topic maybe sounds similar, but we're going to solve more complicated problems in this course. Right? Coordinate geometry, there's a 2-dimensional coordinate geometry, 3-dimensional coordinate geometry. I'm going to focus on 2-dimensional coordinate geometry. So I begin with the following problem. We know that every point in the plane, if we put a coordinate system there, then it can be described by a pair of numbers every point, right? So if I give a triangle, with vertices, okay, and if you're given information, vertices, for example, 0, 0, okay, 2 and 4, right, and the 4 and the 2, for example, and what is the area, for example? What is the area of the triangle? Now, to solve this problem, you have to plot those points. Okay, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 2, 4, 2 and 4 somewhere here. That's this 1 point, and 4 and 2 somewhere here, 4 and 2. So you connect those points and you get a triangle. Right, and you want to find the area of this triangle. So the triangle is uniquely determined, of course, and the area is uniquely determined. Now, the classical formula we have is to find the area of triangle is to base times height. But can you find the base? Yeah, kind of. Then can you find the height? Let's find the base first, okay, just for fun, okay, A and the B and the C. So the distance between A and the B, right, by the distance formula is the square root of the difference of the x coordinates plus the difference of the y coordinates, okay, of those 2 points. And then you get 4 squared plus 2 squared, and that is going to be 16 plus 4, and square root 20. Square root 20 is a square root 4 times 5, so square root 4 is 2 times square root 5. So the length of the base is not an integer, it's a irrational number. Okay, it's an irrational number. The question is, can you find the height? Now, that's a bit different problem. Find the area and find the height is totally different problem. Okay, if you find the height, you can determine the area because I already know the sides, the base side, right? A and the B, the distance between A and B is 2 square root 5. So once given that, then the area, right? Area is going to be half of the base times height. So, so that's a relationship. If you know the height, you know the area. If you know the area, then the height. So which one is first? Chicken first, egg first, right? All right, what do you want to do? Wouldn't be easier to find the height if we just start from B instead of C? Now that's possible. Yeah. All right. So I think, okay, I prefer to find the area first because my main point is to find the area. That's the first question. Second question is I want to find the height to that side. Find the height. Okay. Find if there's no choice, find the height, okay, to the side A and B. Right. Then you find the area first. Okay. Now, if you just want to find the area, and probably you notice that this is like an isosceles triangle. Yeah, it's an isosceles triangle, and maybe there's a quick way to do. Okay, but let's figure out how to find the area in a slightly different way. So this is a triangle, right? Here's a 4 and a 2. That's a 2 and a 4. Okay, we use a so-called subtraction method. So I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle passing those 2 points. So I can easily find out the area of this triangle, right? And the area of this triangle, because those are the right triangle. Then use a subtraction method to find the area of the triangle we want to do. Okay, so let's find out the size each side. So the height is a 4, so it's a 4. This side is I think it's going to be 2, right? I did not write this perfectly. And this side is 2, and from 2 to 4 is that's also 2. Then it's 2, you know, and then that is a 4. I think this is a square, and that point is 4 and the 4, right? 4 and the 4. So the area of the triangle we're looking for, ABC, right? We already labeled it ABC, okay? A, B, C is going to be the area of the triangle square, right? 4 times 4 minus the area of the yellow triangle. The area of the yellow triangle is 2 times 4. The area of green triangle is 2 times 2 divided by 2 is the area of the yellow triangle, 4 times 2. Okay, so let's simplify it. 16 minus 4, okay, 16 minus 4 minus 2 and minus 4, okay, so we are 6. 6 is the area. Now once you get the area, you can get a height, because based on the above formula, right? If we find the area first, but we did not use the height. Okay, we did not use the height. So this method is called subtraction method. Okay. Right, then you can find height of any side, any size, height to any size, because the area is again base times height divided by 2. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask you to do the next problem, right? Find the area of the triangle ABC, and which has vertices. Point A is a -2 and 1, and the B 1 and 3, and the C is going to be 4 and -2. Okay. So -2 and 1, the first point. Okay. So please work out this. Right, -2 and 1 and the 3, 1 and 3, and 4 and -2. Plot to the triangle, plot to the 3 points, and if you get answers, you can post to me privately. You don't need to show to everybody, because that disturbs other students. Okay. So for a couple reasons, don't post it to everybody. Post privately to me. Click find my name was the host. Okay. Then you and just post to me so nobody else can see it.
For C, is it 4, 2 or 4, negative 2?
Yeah, -2. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I accidentally muted myself. Yeah, 4, -2. Okay. So first of all, right, plot the triangle. Okay, just sketch it, -2 somewhere here, right? -2 and the 1, and the 1 and the 3 somewhere here, and the 4 and the -2 somewhere here. Okay, 4 and the -2. Actually, this line may be passing through origin. Okay, this is a triangle. Okay, it seems pretty bad, like irregular shape. So what you have to do is you have to use a larger rectangle to cover it. Then you check the size of each right triangle. All right, so the answer will be, yeah, I think Alana's answer is correct. All right, so let's try. Okay, all you have to do is to figure out each side, okay? So from here, see, this is 4, -2, right? From -2 to 1, this side is 3. And from 1 to 3, this side will be 2, right? Then from -2 to 1, that's be 3. From 1 to 4 is also 3, right? And then from all the way to bottom to, from -2 to 3 is going to be 5. So I think here's -2 to +4, that's a 6. So now it's clear. So the area of the triangle we're looking for is the area of the rectangle. It's right, it's going to be 6 times 5 first. Then you minus the area of each one around that. Right, so the area on the left, up triangle, -2 times 3, 2 times 3 divided by 2. Upper right, and the 3 and the 5. Then the lower left, 3 and the 6. So let's simplify a little bit. So it's going to be 33, and that is going to be a fraction, and the minus, right, 9. Okay, the 30 minus 12 is going to be 30 minus 10 is 20, 12 is 18, right? Yeah. Right, minus 15. And then that'll be 11 over 2. I think that's correct. No, not 21 over 2. Okay, 21 over 2. Right, it's 10.5. Yes. Okay. Okay, so same idea. Okay, so let's move on to the next type of problems. Yeah, let's review and how do we get a distance formula between 2 points, right? So remember, if we have point P and there was coordinate x1, y1, another point we call the P2 and has coordinates x2, y2, when draws a line. So in order to find the distance, we actually apply the Pythagorean theory to this problem. Now, suppose it's in this position. So you have, let's find the coordinates of this point. The coordinate of this point will be x2 and the y1. Okay, right? The y coordinate will be changed, but x coordinate will be same as point P2. Okay, so difference of this, the distance between those 2 points, the lower leg, right, is going to be the difference of the x coordinates, which is x2 minus x1, absolute value. I put the absolute value because I don't know which one is right, which one is big. So the difference of the height of the triangle here is the difference between this y coordinates because they have the same x coordinates. So that's why the distance between P1 and the P2 is going to be by the Pythagorean theory. This side is square minus other side is square. Yeah, that's just how do we get this formula. Right. All right, so now let's take a look at the next problem. All right, so the 4 vertices of a square. We already know this is a square. A square A, B, C, D have a coordinate, okay, -4 and 2, 1 and 14, 13 and 9, and 8 and -3, okay, respectively, right? Right. We want to find the area of this square. Okay. How do you do that? Well, it's similar to find the triangle, but maybe there's a short way to do it. Okay. So think about this. Okay, so you have to figure it out after plugging the points. We have to figure out what is the edge of the square. Okay, now you can decompose the square into 2 triangles, find the area of each triangle, right? And add them together. But but you are told this is square. So all you have to do is find the edge length, then you get the area of the square. Okay, so what is the edge length? What is the edge? I have to look at those 4 points. You plug them into the XY plane. So -4 and 2 is here. Okay, -4 and 2 is here. Okay, and the 1 and the 14 is here, and the other one maybe is 13 and 9 is here, and then 8 to -3 is here. Something like that. I just sketch. Okay. So yeah, so this is going to be 8, -3, 13, and 9, and the 1 and the 14, -4 and the 2. All right, so now once you plug the 4 points, it's easy to see how does a square look like. Then you just try to find the distance on one side using any pair of points, but you have to decide which pair, right? let's say this is the edge. So we are told it's a square, so you don't need to worry about it. If you calculate, you can double check, if each side there, all of the three sides are equal now. Okay. So the distance, let's say the distance between these two, and that's going to be the difference of the x coordinate and the difference of the y coordinates. Okay. So that is going to be, 5 square, and that is going to be 12 square. Okay. 5 square, 12 square, and then together it's going to be 13 square. So that's why it's a 13. So the edge length is actually 13. But if you don't believe that, double check it. Maybe it's not a square, right? So that's called the B, right? So B is going to be square root of the difference of the x coordinate and plus the difference of the y coordinates. Okay, so this will be 12 square, and this is 5 square, so it's still equal to 13. Okay, so that's enough because you're told that it's a square, so you don't need to waste time to calculate to find the B. Okay, so the area, of course, it's going to be a square, so that's a 13 square. Okay. All right, our next topic is about line slopes. Okay, lines. This side is lines. This side is linear equation. Okay, there's a correspondence one-to-one. Okay, given line, I can describe it using linear equation. Given linear equation, I can determine the line. Okay, described by that linear equation. All right, so given a strict line, right? Okay, and the theory says that these two coordinates, x and y, must satisfy the linear equation. The linear equation could be in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay. That's not a standard form, but there must be related by a so-called linear equation. Does not involve x squared y squared. Okay, given linear equation, you can uniquely determine a line. Now the equation is not a unique form. Depends on how do you express it, right? You can express it in a different way. Then if you express it in the slope intersection point form, that's a unique form. Okay, right now it's not unique. You can multiply both sides by 2, get another equation, but essentially that gives determine the same line. Okay. All right, given a line, how do we get the equation? So the idea is that we have to have a concept of slope, right? And so the idea is that we have a family of triangles. We should draw this. We find out all those triangles. That's this side called delta y, this side delta x. We find out delta y over delta x. This will be an invariant. Okay, the invariant means it's independent choice of the 2 points in the xy. So here's a and b. I can choose a prime and b prime. So then delta y delta x will be changed. However, the ratio will be staying in the same value. It has the same value. So that's called the invariant. It's regardless of the location of the right triangle. Okay, you choose 2 points on the line and draw the right triangle. Okay. All right, so that invariant, this ratio is called the slope. That is so-called slope. Okay, and usually denoted by the slope m, denoted by m. M means the slope. Okay. All right. Now use the slope. and a point you can describe the equation. You can describe the relationship between the x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, I take an arbitrary point, x naught, y naught, then I draw another triangle, right? So the slope can calculate in this form, the difference of y coordinates and difference of x coordinates, right? Because we know this is invariant ratio. So then the coordinates of the point, arbitrary point on the line, will determined by this equation. So now you can write the another form. So you got a linear equation, okay? And conversely, given a linear equation, and I can get a slope, then I can also get a sketch the line, get another point on the line. All right, so that's the theory about the line. Okay, let's take a look at the following example. Okay, if a line has a slope of m equals -2 and passes through the point P, 2, and 1. Okay, find an equation for the line that describes the coordinates of point on the line, right? So you already know the slope. All you have to do is just draw the line, the passing through 2 and 1, all right? And here's the arbitrary point x and y. So you can use this pair of numbers, this pair of points to calculate the slope on one hand, right? The slope is going to be y minus 1 over x minus 2, right? The difference of the x coordinate, the difference of y should be called slope. So since we already know the slope, it's going to be -2. Then you will get the equation. This is the n equation, not necessarily the simplest form, but this is the equation for the line. So that means every point on the line with coordinates x and y is determined by this equation. So the next question. So what is the slope of the line? The equation is 2x plus 4y plus 5 equals 0. Okay. Now, this time we are given the equation, not a line. We want to find the slope of the line. Right. So, any idea? Okay, remember, if we know the slope, right? Let's try to go back to. Okay, this is slope. This is a point x naught, y naught. And here's x and y, right? We remember we have y minus y naught over x minus x naught. That ratio should be equal to slope. So in other words, we should have this equation like that. So you can see that y equals mx plus y naught minus mx naught, right? So if you get an equation like that, and I want to compare with this the equation in general form. The equation in general form is 4y equals -5 minus 2x divided by y is -1/2 of x minus 5 over 4. Okay, so that means you compare those two, you see the slope is always equal to 1/2. It's not 1/3, it's 1/2, right? Did I copy the wrong? It's a 2, yeah, 2, 4y, right, and the 5. Okay. So we get this, okay? That's a slope. Okay, so I want you to work on the next problem. Before we talk about that, let's have a review on the parallel lines. If we have two lines parallel, yeah, so you have two lines, slope of this line is m, slope of this line is m prime. So these two lines, they're parallel if and only if m equals m prime. Why? Because when they're parallel, you get the exact same triangle, similar triangle, right? So this triangle is similar if they're parallel. So that's why then the ratio will be the same. Okay, so if this is a y prime, this is the x prime, this is delta y, this is delta x. So m equals delta y over delta x, m prime equals delta y prime over delta x prime. Okay, so that parallel means the ratio. They have the same slope. Okay. All right, so let's see. Find an equation for the line. Right, this line parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 1 and passing through the point. All right, so let's draw the picture. Okay. The line 2x plus 3y equals 1. That probably looks like something like that, okay? That's just a sketch. Come on. So -3 and 1. 1, 2, 3. -3 and 1, somewhere here. Okay, this is another point. We are looking for a line which is parallel to the, parallel to the given line. Okay, and have the same slope, right? Yes. Parallel means they have the same slope. And this line all right, you try it. Okay, I'll give you half a minute to think about it. So you're given a linear equation. Okay, from that linear equation, what you can get. All right, so you have to find out the slope, right? Because those two lines are parallel, so they have the same slope. This m and the m prime. So find the slope for m, then you just rewrite the equation, and you can figure out this equation here, right? So y equals -2/3x plus 1/3. So slope of the given line is -2/3. Okay, so you don't know the. So that means the line for the equation for the red line is going to be y equals -2/3 and the x and plus some constant. We don't know, right? You can try this. Okay, then you find the value b by plugging because it's passing through this point. So when you plug -3 for x and the 1 for y, you get the equation. So here's a 1, here's -3, right? And the plus b. Let's figure out what is b. So 1 equals, it's 2 plus b. So that implies b is -1. Okay, so the equation is going to be -2/3 and x minus 1. Yeah. I'm supposed to, I'll give you enough time, and I hope you can get an answer. Once you get an answer, don't be shy. Just post, give to me directly. Okay, and yeah, so I can see, you're doing well. Okay. Another issue is how do I find the two lines perpendicular? Okay. How do you determine two lines perpendicular? Two lines perpendicular if only if the product of their slope is called -1. Now, how do you see that? Okay, let's draw the picture first. I draw the line here. Okay, this is a triangle was called in the x and the y. Then I rotate to 90 degrees, so I get another one. Okay, the question is, what is slope of the other one? As the slope here is m, this is the m prime. Okay, and the coordinates of that point. Okay, coordinates of that point is going to be -b and a. Okay, so m prime is going to be a over -b. So here's -bn over a. So you see that the product is -a over b and b over a. So that's not so negative. All right. So you have a fact here. Two lines perpendicular if only if the product, the slope is going to be -1. Okay. And I only show you why the product slope is negative. Conversely, if the product of that slope is equal to -1, then those two lines perpendicular to each other. Right. So now, if we know this fact, then you can solve the problem. If the line -x plus 5y equals to -1 is perpendicular to the line 5x plus ky equals -2. What is k? What is the value of k? Okay, please work out this. The second line, the k is not given explicitly, right? But I know those two lines perpendicular to each other, so the k cannot be arbitrary. Right? So please work out this and give me the answer. Okay, I'm going to call your name. Okay, I want to Michael Pooh. Give me the answer. If you say no, you know, if you cannot get the answer, just say no. Okay, so I want to make sure you're there. So sometimes your mommy trusts you, sit there privately, you're in your room and attend the lesson. And you're playing computer games sometimes. I know. All right. Anyway, I just trust you, and if you cannot figure it out, just say sorry, I cannot figure it out. Okay. Anywhere else, if you figured out the answer, and you can post privately, okay, to me. Yep. I think Lala is doing very well. My question to Michael. Michael, are you there? Do you have answers? Okay, thank you. So you're there. Great. You did a good job. Congratulations. So Michael's answer is correct. All right, so let's figure out how to do the problem. All right. So first of all, I know the line negative x plus 5y, you have to rewrite it in the form, right? So 5y equals x minus 1, y equals, right? Y equals 1 over 5x minus 1 over 5, right? That's equal. So from here, you know the slope is 1 over 5. But on the other hand, I have another line, right? So equation is going to be this. Okay, so I have to write, okay, and divide both sides by k. Okay, so the slope is going to be negative 5 over k. So now they're perpendicular, right? Perpendicular means the product of their slope is going to be negative 1. So 1 over 5 times negative 5 over k is going to be negative 1, and obviously k should be equal to 1. Okay, Calvin, you know, I did not know where's the 3 from. But anyway, there's nothing to do with 3. There must be some computation problems here. So you can double check your work to see where's the mistake. I'm trying to avoid such mistakes happen in the future. All right. All right. So let's understand the equation. Now, if you have an equation y equals mx plus b, okay, this is a slope, okay? This is always slope. And how about this number? This called the y-intercept. Why? Because when x equals 0, y equals m times 0 plus b. So 0 and b is on the line, right? But same time, 0b, the point with the 0b is also on the y-axis, right? So that's why this is the intersection point of the y-axis and the line, right? So this is the intersection point. the intersection point of the line and the y-axis. So if I draw the picture, this is a 0 in the point and this is a line, okay? So we understand this is the meaning of each number in that equation, in that standard equation, okay? All right, so now we are able to solve the next problem. Okay, here's a question. All right. Let's try. Okay, so 3 point 1 negative 4, p negative 1, and the p plus 1 3 are on the same line. Right? Find the p. Okay, that's the first question. Second question, if Q1 is on the line, right? What is Q? Right, so that's two questions here. I'm going to show you the first one, okay? Then I'll let you to do the second one. So you're given 3 points, but 2 of them are incomplete and indeterminate, right? So 1 negative 4 somewhere here. 1 negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 negative 4. Okay. Okay, so that's but the other 2 points I cannot draw because P, I don't know, right? But somewhere I know on the line, okay, let's see, P and negative 1. Negative 1 is somewhere here, it's a straight line, okay? P negative 1, so somewhere here on this line, you know, like a P negative 1, right? And the P plus 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, no, that's another line, okay? So maybe somewhere here. P plus 1, 3, okay? So those 3 points are on the line. These 3 points are on the line, right? On the line. So the question is, how do you find the P? So what I'm trying to do is, I think those 2 points already determine the slope. The slope can be determined by those 2 points. Although those 2 points are completely indeterminate because the variable depends on the point P. So you see, when we do the geometry problem, we always draw the picture that helps you. Okay, so the difference of a y coordinate and the difference of the x coordinates. And you will see that the difference of x coordinates 1, the difference of y coordinates 4. The answer is 4. The slope is 4. Okay, once you get slope, then you can use this pair of points to determine the slope, determine the value P. Okay, the difference of that y coordinates, okay, and then P minus 1. So which is going to be negative 1 plus 4, that'd be 3. Okay, so now the slope can be expressed into 2 forms. So I'm going to get this. So P minus 1 is 3 over 4. And the P is 1 plus 3 over 4. It's going to be 7 over 3. 7 over 4, I'm sorry. 7. So 7 over 4 is the value of the P. Okay. Now, can you determine the value of the Q? Okay. So already, yeah, P is 7 over 4. Okay. So if Q and the 1 somewhere here, right? Q and the 1 is a point on this line. What is the value of Q? Can you determine that? I'm waiting for you. Yeah, so we already find out that right, P is going to be 7/4, okay? We already find out that. All right, so I wish this time I'm going to ask another boy to answer the question. I'm surprised we have more girls than boys here in this class. That's a surprise. Girls can study mathematics very well, okay, honestly. There are many famous female mathematicians in the United States that can do as good as me, okay? So tell yourself, you can do well, okay? As long as you can focus on that, spend time on that. And there are many scientists are female. And recently, they get some new member of Science Academy of the United States. Half of them are female, and female are especially good in biology or chemistry, medical science, because they can focus on the research and they can make an achievement. Okay. Okay, thank you, Kevin. You got it. Okay. Good job, Kevin. Kelvin, sorry. Kelvin. Yeah. Okay, so you all you have to do is just use the point Q to find the slope. So I can, we already know the slope. The slope is 4, right? So I can use these 2 points. 1 minus -4, Q minus 1. 1 minus -4, Q minus 1 is going to be 4. Okay, because 4 is the slope. We already take this. So 5 over Q minus 1 is 4. Huh? What? Hold on. Yeah, did I? 1 minus, yeah, that's fine. It's okay, right? So this is fine, my computation. Yeah. So Q minus 1 is a 5/4, and the Q is going to be, yeah, we like proper fractions, okay? So Q equals 1 plus 5/4. Add them together is 9/4. All right. All right. So our last problem is, okay, for all the pairs listed are solutions of the same linear equation and the one is not, okay? So given the first coordinate 1, that is not, okay, fine, okay, given us this, given those points, -2 and 7, right? And the 3, -3, 1 and 1, -1 and 6, and 0 and 3. Okay, so let me rewrite the first number. Okay, -2, 7, 3, -3, 1, 1, -1, 6, 0 and 3. Okay, those are yeah. For all the pairs listed are solutions of, we are given 5 points here. 4 of them are the points of one line. And the fifth one of them is not. Okay, so what is that point? Find out find the point which is not on the line. So in other words, 4 points are on the line, and one of them is not on the line. The first one is not on the line, and what is that number? Okay. Yeah, in other words, find the point not on the line. Okay, not on the line. And this line contains other 4 points. Okay. And you can draw the, you can plot them. Sometimes it's not easy to plot all of them. Okay. So how do you solve this problem? You can try and plot them, right? Plot them, and maybe, but sometimes the sketch cannot help you too much. Okay. And let's try and solve it without the sketch in the graph. Okay. Okay, think about, right? You have a 4 points. So if this is not the one on the line, okay, let's draw this. If you pick up the point, which is not, maybe not on the line. If you're not on the line, if you use 3 points, you probably get 4 different slopes, right? And this is a point which is not on the line. Now, if you pick up, yeah, let's see. This is a point. Yeah. If you pick up this point randomly, then you find the slope of the line segment passing through this point, and one of the other 4 points, and you get all the 4 slopes. They should be all different, maybe. Okay. But if you pick up this point, then you calculate the slope. Calculate the slope with this line, and with this line, right? You find out the slope with other 3 points will be the same, but with one of the point will be different. So you can also find the point which is not on the line. So I'm going to randomly to pick up this point, okay? So where's my file? So the file is gone. Let me bring it back. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, let me write down the 3 number first. So I'm going to do this. Let's try this, right? And just look at this, compare those two. Okay, find the slope of this line. Okay, 7 minus -3, right? -2 minus -3. So what do you get? You get 10 over -5, it's -2, okay? Then you work on the next one, 7 minus 1, -2 minus 1. So you get 6, right? 6 over -3, and that's -2, great. So then you have 7 minus 6, -1 minus -2, okay? Yeah, so no, sorry, -2 minus, yeah. -2 minus -1, right? 7 minus 6, -2 minus -1. So that will be 1. And -1 plus 1 is -1, so it's -1. So, okay, let's do one more, okay? The other one is a 7 minus 3 and then -2 minus 0. So it's 4, -2. Okay, clearly, that's the second situation. Okay, you choose a point. So I think I think this is a point not on the negative. Yeah, this is a point not on the same line as the 4 points. So as the 4 points, they form a strict line. Okay, they're on the same line because when you calculate the slope, you get 3 same slope. Okay, so you locate that point using a slope which is not on the line. Okay, the answer is the answer is all of those 4 points are on the same line. Okay, and but -1, 6 is not on the line, on the line shared by those 4 points. Okay, so that's what I want to discuss today. All right, that's all for today's class. I hope you learned something today. And this is coordinate geometry, right? And I'm in the following classes, we're going to study geometry, area, triangles, sounds familiar, right? And the Pythagorean theory, application of Pythagorean theory, similarity of triangles, circles, and the relationship between triangles and circles, and so on. Okay.